sorry not to be able to greet you in person. I am a private individual who prefers to remain private. To quote Dr. Klemperer, the illusion that is the handwork of my colleagues is not mine. When Luca first proposed to me to take this part, I asked him why, when he could have so many more suitable people, he would choose me. He told me the audience would enjoy to see a new face. I thought, why not? Warum denn nicht? It will be fun. And it was. Though I strongly suspect Suspiria will be the only film I ever appear in, I like the work, and I do not mind getting up very early. It was an especial privilege to work alongside the beautiful Jessica Harper, whose graciousness I have long admired, and whose kindness I will never forget. There cannot have been, in recent history, a more pressing time to remind ourselves of the dangers of delusion, the perils of falling into a group mind untethered from ethical foundations, and what can easily become the reactive hysteria of separatism. I am myself retired from my life's work as a psychoanalyst now, but I would urge any of you disturbed by this film to seek a good therapist. Self-reflection is never a wasted enterprise. With my best wishes to you all, Lutz Ebersdorf, Berlin, August 2018.
I would not sit here if it wasn't for Dario. I am becoming a stalker of master filmmakers, but it's true, I am a stalker of master filmmakers. And Dario is one of them. And I'll tell you a little light anecdote. After I saw Suspiria, I of course started to see all the other films. And I was like 15, something like that, maybe younger. And I remember I was in Palermo, and somebody called my mom and said, there is Dario Argento in a restaurant someplace in town, tell to your son. And I went alone, and I stayed on the window of the restaurant like this until he finished dinner. And he was really worried, because Dario is a very kind person, and I think he was in paranoia of who's this young man looking at me from the window. I was me.
Did you work with Luca? I'm techno-challenged. I personally loved working with Lutz Ebersdorf. I found him an incredible acting partner, but in large part also because we were guided by Luca, who, as you know from many of his films, has an incredible gift for evoking great emotion in intimate moments in film. He really does that extremely well, and it worked. So I knew that's how it would go down with me and Lutz, and I think it did. And he was also just very gentle and embracing you as an actor. So really great experience for me.
It was incredible working with Luca. I have a small part in the film, but it was an incredible opportunity to not have anything be off the table. No matter what ideas I brought to Luca, it was never no, maybe let's try this. It was yes and more. And he allowed you to overcome your fears as an actor, which I think some directors tend to take your word for it if you don't want to go into certain areas of your soul to find the torment. But I think we explored that in this, and it was just a wonderful opportunity.
This was my second time working with Luca, so I felt I had a sort of foundation of ease and safety, and we know each other very well at this point, and I feel like I'm able to do anything when I'm in his hands. And because the film is about things that I loved so much and still love so much, it's about the obvious things like dancers and witches and magic, and I grew up just loving these things and being fascinated by groups of women and feeling like they were mysterious and magical, and to have this sort of inside look with this person that I love so much, that I love working with so much, into something that's been so mystical to me was perfect. My truly a dream come true project for me.
Well, I've known Luca for a very, 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 very long time, and he's one of my closest friends. We are pretty much blood related. I mean, very much blood related now, I would say. Working with him, living alongside him, is home for me, and it's a great, great piece of luck as a filmmaker to find other filmmakers to work with this kind, as Dakota says, this kind of ease. But beyond ease, there's this sense of daring each other, which is really important when making art together. Filmmaking is entirely collaborative, and we need to be close together. And when you know that the person who's standing next to you has got as low a boredom threshold as you do, and is going to be as uninterested in something they've seen before as you are, then you're really safe, because you can keep amusing each other and pushing each other. So for me, it's not even a question of work, it's a question of life working alongside Luca, and it's my piece of luck.
Luca is a maestro at what he does, and so from the very beginning it was a complete honour to get the chance to work with him. And as soon as I landed in Italy, he welcomed me with wide arms, and I felt instantly welcomed into this very much like a family that he has around him, and I found a lot of comfort and safety in that. And one of the things I found most fulfilling working with first it reminded me, being on set with him, what I imagined perhaps being on set with like a Kubrick or a Fellini was like. There's something that is so passionate and inspiring to work with him. And second, he pushes you, and he always believes in you, even sometimes when you have doubts within yourself, and that's incredibly empowering to work opposite someone who is so talented and to believe in you in the way he does. It's incredibly fulfilling.
Ha toccato delle corde così profonde in lei da sentire questa necessità. Se la riflessione sul senso di colpa, sull'elemento femminile, materno, ecco, la parola a lei. Grazie.
First of all, I was not psychoanalyzed, and I hope I never will be. I find sometimes when I work on a project, and I don't know if I don't have any shame in this, but I'm a very porous person, and I absorb a lot of people's feelings, and when you're working sometimes with dark subject matter, it can stay with you, and then to talk to somebody really nice about it afterwards is a really nice way to move on from the project. And my therapist is a really nice woman. But having said that, the experience was not traumatic. It was the most fun and the most exhilarating and the most joyful that it could be. It's like a constant, it's mischievous and play, and I love it more than anything. So it wasn't that this film sent me, to a psych ward. I just have a lot of feelings.
Yeah, I referred to the original Suspiria film. It was an odd process from the beginning, because when Luca first came to see me, the producers and Malta, I just thought they were mad. because I'd never done a soundtrack before, and Suspiria is one of those legendary soundtracks. So I took a few months to sort of even contemplate the idea, but it was one of those moments in your life where you kind of want to run away, but you know you'll regret it if you can't, if you do. So I watched the film, the original, several times, and I loved it because it was of that time, incredibly intense soundtrack. Obviously, Goblin and Dario worked really closely when they did it together, but it was of its time, and there was no way I could reference it in any way at all. There was no point, other than what I found interesting was they used repetition of motifs again and again and again and again.